The World War One. Maine was the powder keg responsible for the start of World War One. Maine stands for militarism, alliances, imperialism, and nationalism. Militarism is the desire of a state to develop and maintain a powerful military in order to aggressively advance their own interests. Alliances stands for an agreement between two states for mutual self-defense. Imperialism is an agreement in which one country brings another country under its political dominion. Nationalism is a strong identification with one's own nation and people, often to the exclusion of other people. Patriotism is not the same as nationalism. The combination of all of these causes were just the powder keg sitting in Europe, but the spark happened on June 28th of 1914. Archduke Franz Ferdinand of Austria and his wife were in a car in the middle of a parade, and after several missteps, 19-year-old Gavrilo Princip, who was a part of a group of nationalists called the Black Hand, shot and killed both Franz Ferdinand and his wife. This assassination was not the main reason for World War One, but it was definitely the spark, and about a month later, many wars were declared. So because of the secret alliances that were created by different nations all over the world, these nations took their sides. The Allies were Britain, France, Russia, Italy, and later on the US. The Central Powers were Germany, Austria-Hungary, and the Ottoman Empire. The war lasted longer than expected due to many reasons, one of them being the new war technology. Machine guns weren't a new technology, but by this time they had been improved and capable of shooting over 500 rounds a minute. Chemical warfare was also a reason. France developed tear gas and Germany developed chlorine gas, which were both deadly. But probably the most significant was a new method called trench warfare. The trenches were filled with rainwater, which caused the soldiers' feet to decay. Propaganda is information which is false or emphasizes just part of the truth used by the government or political group to make people agree or do what they want. This was used to convince people to sacrifice themselves for the war. The United States joins the war. The Zimmerman telegram was a note sent from German government to the Mexican government, inviting them to start a war with the United States. The Americans were not having it, so this is when they joined the war. The war's ending. The war lasted just over 4 years, and the Allies ended up winning. In 1918, the Paris Peace Conference was called to create a treaty to end the war. After differences in ideas as to how peace would be established, the Treaty of Versailles finally ended the war. The arrangements of punishments in the treaty were 1. Germans pay reparations for the damages caused by the war, which consisted of billions of dollars, and 2. The blame for the war was on Germany.